Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a unit review video. If you don't know what this is the series where you guys send me your best Genshin Impact units and I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 to determine who has the best Genshin Impact unit. Before we get into that though, if you would like an opportunity to get your own unit reviewed, all you have to do is go to my Discord, link in the description below. There is a channel in the Discord that is titled #UnitReview. In that channel will be instructions on how you can submit your own character for review. With that all wrapped up, let's get into the video. First up here we have Christy, and they wanted me to review their Arataki Itto. Now, something to keep in mind with this build, obviously level 60. You can only go so far with level 60 characters. You are AR 45, so I believe you can take them to 80. I can't remember if AR 45 is 70 or 80. I think it's 80, so you should take your Arataki Itto to level 80 if you can. But you may be a new player, so I'll cut you some slack here. Prototype Archaic, I would like to see White Blind. That is another craftable weapon in the Blacksmith. It's actually better than Prototype Archaic is, because it has a defense percent substat, but Prototype Archaic can also work, but I do recommend crafting that White Blind for him. As for your set, you are probably working towards a 4-piece husk, I imagine. Maybe you just haven't got there yet. Artifacts can be a little tough to grind, but right now you are rocking a 2-piece set. Constellation 0, and talents are 3, 4, 3. Yeah, that's probably about as far as you could take him with level 60s. So obviously, I'm sure you know all this stuff. Just leveling him to level 80 is going to help tremendously. Just getting his talents up to level 4, and then once you hit level 80, you can take him to level 8. As for artifacts, you're obviously early game, so there's not a lot I can critique with artifacts. Oh my gosh. Jeez, that's a good piece for early game. The number one tip of advice, keep this piece. That is a damn good piece. That's also, it's not a terrible piece. Again, for early game, it's okay. It's not terrible. And then 4 stars, obviously you want to switch out of these the first chance you get. But for right now, they're good stat sticks. Like, this is a good flower, actually, for being an off piece. 74 flat attack isn't great, but this piece does the job. This piece is geo damage, so you know what? It fits the bill. And then you got a crit damage hat, but I have a feeling your crit rate's going to be tremendously low. Yeah, 30%. Ooh, that's rough. I'd recommend running a crit rate hat and then maybe getting some more crit damage subs on some of these pieces. But yeah, overall for early game, I mean, there's not a lot I can really say because it is early game. So it's hard to really give you the same ratio that I can give normal builds that are level 80 and have full artifacts. So in light of that, I'm just going to give you a solid 5 out of 10. Let's move on to the next build. Next up here we have Jelly, and they wanted me to review the only character on their character profile, Lisa. Let's see here, level 90 out of 90 Lisa. Okay. Oh, this is going to be an interesting build. Let's see. Weapon. Lost Power of the Sacred Winds, good choice. Not her best in slot, but definitely a good weapon for her nonetheless. Gives you a bit of crit rate. You got 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Thundering Fury, good choice. You got a 3rd piece of Glad here just to flex on them. What's your Constellation? Constellation 4, Lisa? Damn, you got lucky on that standard banner. My Lisa is like Constellation 3, and I'm quote-unquote whale. Talents? 10, 10, 10. Okay. Well, if you've 10'd her normal attack, that makes me think that you're using her on field, but I don't imagine that's the case because Lisa shouldn't be used for that purpose. Or maybe you just want to have the perfect Lisa. I do not know. What I do know is that you have perfect talents, a pretty damn good constellation on her, and a pretty damn good weapon. Let's see some of these pieces. Let's see what you are rocking her with. This is so far. From what I've seen, this is a very generalist build. You could really use her off field. You could use her as an electric DPS. There's a lot of viability with this build. Not bad for being in set. Yeah, that's not a bad cut for being in set. Obviously, the HP is going to be unwanted, but a little bit of crit damage. That's a damn good piece. That is a very, very nice piece. You do not see many crit damage hats with almost 30 CV. Another really good piece. Wow, you have 2 seriously good Glad pieces. I almost want you to sub out this Electro Damage Cup. Maybe you have a better off piece would be a good option. Another really good piece with a little bit of EM. EM's always just a nice stat on Lisa, so just getting any little bits of EM where you can is going to benefit her. And that's pretty good. It's not bad. 28 crit damage is pretty nuts. What's your split then? Damn, 7,200. Whew, that's a good split. That is a really, really nice split. The only critique is maybe having crit rate on this piece, and then maybe the stats on this Electro Damage Cup could be just the slightest bit better. Yeah, I guess you could even use her as like an EM DPS if you wanted, but I guess you'd have to swap out some of these EM pieces. But overall, no, a very, very solid Lisa. Definitely one of the better ones I've seen. Overall, I think I'm going to give your Lisa a solid 9 out of 10. Let's move on to the next build. Next up, we have Rasik, and they want me to review their Yoimiya. Let's see here. Yoimiya, level 90 out of 90, 2,200 attack. That means you probably have Rust. I'm correct. Rust R4. Don't got that R5 yet. That's okay. Not everybody can have the same luxuries. 4-piece Shimenawa, good choice. I believe this isn't her best in slot set anymore. I kind of got downgraded just based on different situational things, like if you're doing Vaporize first, if you're just using her for her damage, using like buffs with Yujin. I don't think this is her best in slot set, but nonetheless, it's still a good set. Constellation 0, and then talents are 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm so sad not to see the 10, 10, 10. But you know what? I appreciate it nonetheless. One tip of advice, you don't need to 10 her burst. It's useless to her kit. Honestly, I didn't take her burst past level 7, if I remember correctly. I never really use it in rotations, but to each their own. Okay, let's see some of these pieces. Let's see how good your Yoimiya is in the artifact department. That's a rough piece, I won't lie. 15 energy recharge and then 44 EM. Yeah, no. This is definitely a sack piece for me at least. Maybe it's good for where you're at right now. That's a pretty good piece. Actually, that's a really nice piece. 2 attack percent rolls, 2 crit rate rolls. Very, very nice. That's a crazy piece. Wait, hold up. 15% crit rate, 13 crit damage, and attack percent. Wow. Okay, that's a flex piece. And another big flex piece. Wow. Okay, so damn, okay. And then a plus 18 sands. There's no shot this is the best sands on your account. You must be trying things out or trying out different sands. There's no shot this is the best one you had put on your Yoimiya. What's your Ayaka have? Yeah, put that one on Yoimiya. She deserves it. Bro, put this one on Yoimiya. Why is this on Mona? Mona can use like energy recharge sands, bro. Put this one on Yoimiya. This one's so much better. Oh, wow. How could you do my girl Yoimiya like that? How are you gonna do her dirty like that? Oh, also, I don't get why you're leaving sands at plus 18, but whatever. Let's check the split. 70, 130 could be better. It definitely could be better, but it's not bad. Like that's literally an even ratio. It might as well be, honestly. Overall, I'd say you have a pretty decent Yoimiya. You are missing a couple things like 1 refinement, a couple little talents, and then obviously a good sands. But overall, your Yoimiya is pretty decent, so I'm going to give her a solid 8 out of 10. Let's move on to the next build. All right, next up here we have Aster, and they wanted me to review their Yae Miko. They are AR 47, so that's something we have to keep in mind when reviewing this unit. We also have to keep in mind that they are a huge Yae Miko simp. So let's see what we're working with here. Level 80 out of 80 Yae Miko. 1500 attack, 80 EM. What's the weapon? The Witsith, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think this is her best in slot for free-to-plays. Obviously, Kagura's variety is better, but I think this is still a really good weapon. Artifacts, 2-piece Wanderer's Troop. Okay, interesting. So I imagine you're probably prioritizing sub-stats here versus set bonuses, which I would like to see. But obviously, it'd be more optimal to get her on something like 2-piece Wanderers, 2-piece Thundering Fury, just mixing up, or maybe any like 2-piece attack percent sets can also be good. Another thing I noticed is that you have a plus 16 flower on her. Bit of an odd choice. Constellation 0, and talents are 6, 8, 8. Obviously, you don't need to level up her normal attack. You can if you want to have the quote-unquote perfect Yae Miko, but that's not going to benefit you in the long run. Anyways, let's look at artifacts. I can't expect too much here because you are AR 47, but we'll take a look at them nonetheless. Let's start off with the plus 16 flower. Actually, wow. Wait, hold up. That's a really good flower. Damn, dude. Okay. We're starting off with a banger piece. Take this to plus 20. What are you doing? This is a banger piece. This was 1 more crit rate or damage. That's a 40 CV piece. Take that further, my friend. Damn, another good piece. That is another plus 30 CV piece. Damn. All right, and then we have a attack stance. Damn, that's a good attack stance. 7 crit rate, 19 crit damage. Okay, good stuff. Goblet. I mean, it's electro damage, so it does the job, and technically it's on set for Yae Miko. You got a bit of a crit rate on there. Fortunately, you got 2 flat attack rolls, so it's not the greatest. And that's a very good piece. Obviously, the HP, the attack, and the defense aren't really needed, but because the majority of your rolls are in crit rate, that is a very nice piece. So what is your split looking like? Wow, that is really good. For AR 47, 7210 is very solid. That is a very, very good early game Yae Miko. Yeah, for where you are in the game, this is a very well-built Yae Miko. I could see you taking this Yae Miko very, very far in the future if you just get a couple more on-set pieces. All right, so yeah, for where you are, I actually say this Yae Miko is about like a 9.4, 9.5 out of 10. This is a very, very solid Yae Miko. Let's move on to the next build. Next up here, we have Ruri, and they want me to review their Barbara. Want to triple crown my Barbara, but I am poor. Unlucky, my friend. Let's go check her talents. Oh, almost there. 10-9-9. Oh wait, no, this means you have Constellation 3 Barbara at least, so it's actually 10-9-6. Okay, kind of a weird priority you got going there. You prioritize her normal attack and then her E, and then lastly her burst. Sure. I mean, I think her burst is probably not very important. I mean, it's just a heal, so sure. All right, Barbara, 1,000 attack, 16,000 HP. A bit of EM. What are we working with here? With Sith Barbara. I see what we're going to be doing here. Some vaporized explosions. Barbara? Okay. I rate this. 4-piece Heart of Depth? Yep. Okay, DPS Barbara time. Oh, I'm not ready for this type of build. This is about to be a crazy Barbara, bro. Constellation 3, like we thought, and then talents we already saw. All right, so we're dealing with a DPS Barbara here. This is going to be absolutely crazy. I would love to see how much damage this thing does on the field. I mean, with Sith plus level 10 normal attack, plus I'm hoping for some good artifacts here. Let's see. Oh my gosh. 16% crit rate. That is a nasty piece. That's pretty bad. Okay, it's not terrible, but 63 flat defense, 2 low crit damage rolls, and defense percent. Yeah, that piece could definitely be improved. Oh, it's also only plus. Bro, what's with everybody having plus 16 artifacts on their builds today? Am I tripping? Why is this happening so much today? I never see this. Just plus 20 everything. You're rich. EM. I'll be honest, I don't know much about DPS Barbara, but I do not think this is the meta, as far as I know. I could be wrong. I'm not, you're the Barbara expert here. I'll let you make the executive decisions on to whether to run EM, attack percent, or ER, but I guess if you're running DPS Barbara, maybe you'd want EM? I have no idea. And holy crap, is that ever a good onset goblet. Holy smokes. I love how you have 2 god pieces here, and then like this and this, because these 2 pieces are probably better than any artifacts on my whole account. So you know what? Respect to you. Let's see the off piece. Pretty good. For being an off piece, not great, but it's not terrible either. Let's see the split. What are we working with here for DPS Barbara? Pretty even split. 73, 163? Not too bad. 120 recharge. Obviously, you don't have a lot of HP because you're not going for HP, Barbara. So your heals aren't going to be doing a ton, but I assume you're going to do crazy damage with her charge attacks. Overall, I mean, it's an interesting build, right? It's obviously not the optimal Barbara, so I kind of have a hard time judging it because I'm not a DPS Barbara expert or anything. I think I played that once in my life, and then I decided I'm never doing it again because it was too painful. But all around, I say your Barbara is pretty solid, so I'm gonna give you a solid 8.5 out of 10. Let's move on to the next build. Next up here, we have Ico, and they wanted me to review their Hu Tao. Let's see here. Hu Tao, level 90 out of 90. 20,000 HP, that's really good for a Hu Tao, and then 1,400 attack, and 23 EM is the slightest bit low for a Hu Tao. You want to see a little bit more EM there. Weapon, Deathmatch, I think that's a pretty good weapon for free-to-play Hu Tao, if I'm not mistaken. Artifacts, 2-piece Crimson Witch, 2-piece Glad, not a bad option if you don't have the substats to justify running anything better like 4-piece Crimson, then this is a fine option. Constellation 0, and talents are 10, 10, 10. That's what we like to see. Good stuff. So basically a perfect Hu Tao so far from what we've seen from the weapon and talent, regardless of refinement rank, because that is a whale thing. Let's see some of these pieces. Really nice piece. A little bit of defense percent, and a little bit of flat attack, but majority of the rolls were in crit rate or damage. That could definitely be replaced. 18 CV isn't the best, and you had a lot of flat attack rolls, but EM and HP are actually good for Hu Tao, so it's not a terrible piece. You would just like to see something like crit rate here on the bottom stat instead. Again, not a terrible piece. You got 9% crit rate, 10% ER, and then 9.3% HP, which is all around, these are 3 good stats for Hu Tao. I don't think you rolled into defense as far as I can tell. I think that's 1 ER, 2 crit rate, 1 HP. So yeah, that's a pretty nice piece. Again, another nice piece, some crit rate, some crit damage, a little bit of attack. Again, another really nice piece. These are perfect subs almost. I'd like to see maybe HP percent here instead of like ER. But yeah, no, all around a very, very nice piece. That is almost perfect subs. All around, I say your artifacts are pretty like above average. Like all these artifacts, I'd probably like give about a 7.5. There's no like crazy standouts, but they're all good. Let's see your split. So you're rocking 67, 223, which is pretty good. Crit rate might just be the slightest bit low. I'd like to see like 70, 75, but 67 isn't terrible. 126 recharge, 61 pyro damage bonus, and then we already saw the 20,000 HP. The only thing I really can critique you on is that your EM is the slightest bit low. With Hu Tao, you want to have, I want to say, a threshold of maybe 100 to 200 EM is probably a good place to meet. And also just maybe the slightest bit more HP could probably help too. I noticed that you're running an attack stance. This isn't the most optimal. I say either EM or HP is probably better for your Hu Tao. But if you just don't have the subs to run it, then it's fine. Yeah, but all around, a very decent Hu Tao. I'm going to say your Hu Tao is at least a 8 out of 10. Let's move on to the next build. Alright, we got one last review here, and it is going to be Roberus, and they want me to show you their Diluc. Let's see here, level 90 Diluc. I don't think we have reviewed a Diluc yet in this series, so I'm interested to see what we're working with here. 1700 attack, that means we're not going to be seeing Wolf's Gravestone. I wonder what weapon we're going to be seeing then. Probably like Serpent Spine or something. I am correct, Serpent Spine. Artifacts, 4-piece Crimson Witch, that is a darn good choice. Constellation, C1, that means you got a little unlucky, maybe on some 50-50s. Not as unlucky as me though, because I have like a C5 Diluc. Talents, 887. What's your Diluc? 90. So you can take these a little further. Diluc's one of the only characters in the game you're able to 10-10-10 and have no regrets. All of these help you a lot. So yeah, getting that up is definitely going to benefit you. As for your weapon, Serpent Spine is perfectly fine. I believe this is his best in slot free to play, or I guess low spender weapon. So if you're not going to try to go for something big like Wolf's Gravestone, this is a fine and dandy option. All right, let's see these artifacts. Wow, that's a really nice hat. 11% crit rate. Yeah, not bad. 1 flat attack, 1 flat HP, not terrible. Really good piece. Very, very nice. 30 crit value. Oh my gosh. 35 crit damage? That's nuts. Bro, if this EM roll even was like a min roll in the crit damage section, it would be a 40% crit damage piece, and that would just, oh, that would be so crisp. It's still a good piece though, nonetheless. That's still like a crazy piece. That's, yeah, I can't praise you too highly on this piece. Attack stands are hard to get, so I'll cut you some slack, but yeah, it's not the best piece I've ever seen. Again, if it was on set, I could maybe cut you a little slack, but 70 EM, maybe it'd be good for, actually, this is a really nice Hu Tao piece now that I'm thinking about it. 70 EM, 5% HP, this would be a crazy Hu Tao piece, but for Diluc, maybe not the most optimal. All around, I'd say you have some pretty good artifacts. Obviously, the standout was that feather, and then this flower is also pretty nice, but the feather, goddamn, man. What's your split on Diluc then? This gotta be pretty crazy. 86, 174, yeah, that's pretty good. That's almost 90, 180. That's really nice on Diluc. All around, I'd say that your Diluc is very, very well built. There's just a couple artifacts here that could use some improving. Like this piece could obviously be improved a little bit. Same thing with the attack sands, but overall a very, very good Diluc. I'm going to give your Diluc a solid 8.5 out of 10. All right, and that is going to be the end of unit reviews for today. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more in the future, please consider dropping a like down below or subscribing. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.